I ran this interview when I sat down with this author who's very famous, so millions of books, and they said, what's the first step you do when writing a book? His reply was powerful. He said, I write the last chapter of my book first. He said, this keeps my writing focused because I always know where I'm gonna end up. See, there was so much wisdom in there, and I don't just mean for authors. This is the way we should live our life. As we saw, is know yourself this question: what do I want in life? Successful people live with intention. They intentionally rush and design their life in a way that will produce the type of life that they want to experience. There's a lot of you out there, listen right now. There's say you want to be successful, but your life is not set up and structure it in a way that's gonna produce that. Now what I'm gonna do with this message is I'm gonna lay out the 5 steps for making this year your breakthrough. Here it's time to stop this going, build emotions, and start really living. The biggest tragedy is to live a whole life and never have lived. Now it's time for you to start living life instead of having life love you. I'm saying some of you out there have been beat up, sucker punched, and knocked down on the mat of life. I get it. I know some of you are bruised, folded, and shattered on the inside. I did it. Some of you have been contemplating giving up, and I know. So you listen right now after a suicide, but I'm here to tell you, you hearing this message is not by mistake. God loves you. If you read the biographies of the greats, every single one of them with products, other struggle they went through real life just like you are going through right now, and they turned it around. See, that's what it's all about. I know you've been wounded. I know you heard not. No, you're feeling pain. I get it. Nope, it's a net on your spiritual enemy has used. You'll pass the pains and hurts and things that you've gone through to enslave you, to keep you in bondage. Now, in order for you to pray through this year, you have to refrain what happened to you in the past, and by reframing what hell's your bondage, you can take the past and use it to thrust you. The greatest word says what the enemy meant for long, God will make good. There's a powerful Sanders, there can be no testimony without first having a test, and that's what your whole life has been up until now, with one great big test. Now God is going to use your past as the foundation for victory and for the foundation of greatness, the foundation for Him to glorify Himself through you. See, what we got to do is help you reframe that. You've got to look at your past as boot camp, as training, as preparation, as college. You got your PhD from the school of hard knocks. So now, when they ask you what's your major, who does I need to be? Brightness. When you go ahead, allow you to do what they say. What's your name? A relay will come. When they say it's bad, no sell, no. Product of struggle. When I was in school, my study, my area of focus was in economics class. They taught me how to not make it stupid to refuse. You can see the other, but that was such a sign. You tell them you suddenly get to Gettysburg. Interests me, and you tell Mr. Clare's setting more of the King's Feast assess between the land on the moon. This is how you kind of phrase your life from now on. May not see greatness in you. That is 5 sensible layout for you today. You can use them to slow down the year, but just start over in life. It doesn't matter that you apply at all times. Whenever you get lost, you come back to these steps, and these steps will put you back in order. My daddy used to say, whenever you get lost in life, son, go back to basics, and that a basics is the word. The basics is the truth, so we always start with that. Now what I want to do is start off with Jeremiah 29 verse 11. It says, why not, players? I have you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Am I starting with the word? We're laying a foundation of truth to build upon, because truth is the tool for greatness. Now the first step to making this year you're here is laying the foundation for victory, and that foundation is relationship. The foundation for our victory is established in our long time with God. Let me back this up with the word. Mark 1:35 says, very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got off, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed I read. This quote by Paul Bill Hammer and it said the prayer closet is the arena, which produces a deal to come. You want to make this year your year. If your goal is to be successful, you must develop the discipline to set time aside. Every single day. Taylor is present every time we get alone with God. We give birth to something. I want to clear something up. I have not in any way, shape, or form talking about religion. I am talking about relationship. Religion cannot save you. Religion will not kill you. Religion will not liberate you. Never will. The only thing that will is a relationship. Worthy is the Lamb. Your relationship with God and hearing a novel by your religion. Retail, I always buy it wholesale. Get it from the source. Go to God. Just because religious rituals have been accepted as truth does not make them true. The real power of God resides in a one-on-one relationship with Him. That's it. I heard this powerful story by these monks who lived up in a monastery up on the mountain, and these monks, we start praying before the sun rose and pray all day in silence until nightfall. Then one day this cat I've got on the grounds at the monastery, and like clockwork, as soon as the muscle would begin to sign their prayer time, the cattle began to meow and cause the rock all day long. Finally the chief monk said, we got to do something about this. So they would take the cat every single morning before they started their prayer time, and they would tie into a tree so that it wouldn't make noise, it wouldn't disturb their prayer time, and it worked. Before they started, they would tie him up. He wouldn't make a sound the whole day, and a nightfall they would untie him, and life went on until one day the chief's mom passed away. Now his understudy took over, and they continue this cat tradition for years and years and years. Then one day the cat died, and it's through the whole monastery. It alone, they don't know what to do. Come today, Dr. Threadson, without first tallying up the game, so they call the count. So all the last monks got together, deciding on what they should do. It wasn't only said, why don't we just want to find another cat, tie him to a tree, and then we continued our worship. Now that sounds like great wisdom to the council, so they all agreed upon it. They went out and bought a new cat, tan into the tree, and began their prayer life for Kinsey. That's rituals, that relationship, and that's a funny story, right? But how many others tie in the cat to the tree every Sunday morning, going through the motions? Real worship can be accomplished with rituals. It can only be accomplished by spirit and truth. That step 2 to making this year your year is to awaken with your calling. As key to success is building your life around the streets gives and natural abilities that God gave you. Everything God does, He does for a purpose. Now He has anointed you with specific talents for a reason. Your calling is always going to be tied to these abilities that God gave you. We struggle the most in life when we get outside our lane, when we try to do something, and God did not design us to do best at 9 to 5 life, right? Doing that job that we can't see. Now what does John stand for? Just the pub bro, and many of us suggest above bro because we've traded in our calling what we've been assigned to do. We're out of fear for our paycheck to stand. Assemble your own activity, the one that God made us to be, and because life has told us over and over the life that this is the way we are supposed to live, we willingly go into slavery to financial bondage, living a life that we were never meant to live. Anytime we try to function outside of God's calling for our life, we give birth to disillusionment, frustration, and spiritual emptiness. Black is scarcity. Come on, way of life, let us gotta stop right now and say, oh, the biggest problems in the world is that 90% of the world is our position. They are not doing what God has called them to do, and that is why we got all this chaos, disorder, and strife going on this year. I want you to stay in your lane, be the real Jew. Now, some of you out there listening to me, you know exactly what you've been called to do, and you just had been doing it. But some of you out there, you don't have a clue. You don't know what your calling is. So here's the thing, this question every single day when you get up like, did God design me to do this? Will set that discovery in motion, see you going anywhere like you want to go if you just ask yourself the right questions. What are you most passionate about? Success is built on fire. Fire is passion. Passion is intensity. That's what you gotta build your life around. I need to get real. Some of you out there right now, you know your passion and you know what you decide to. Do you just think you scared to step out and pursue it? You say, I'm not gonna pay my bills, about face my dream. Okay, but I'm gonna get up in your face with it. John the First. Do been struggling your whole life financially. Anyway, it's not like you got that face, those money, and if you step away from Newtown, but it's all gonna collapse. Listen, I'm all for training, but I'm not gonna train greatness in go safety. What? Pacing for benefits for 401k. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna train my greatness in for that. Your dream right now is to work for Steve Jobs when God has designed you to be the next Steve Jobs. So I ask you again, what has God designed you to do? But this shit'll be different. You've got to set yourself on fire, and that fire is passion. Now let me define passion. Passion is an inexhaustible appetite to display one's true inner self. It's an eagerness to exemplify and express to the world what one is. Who are you? What did God design you to do? What sets you on fire? And what will make you passionate about love every single day and doing from the moment your eyes open to the moments you close them? You got to spin this whole gear. Get into that place, whatever that is. That is where you will be most successful in life, is doing the thing that God has called you to do. Now let's back this step up with scripture. Proverbs 20-29. This is what it says. Do you see a man skillful in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. There's a difference between admiring somebody's calling and being anointed to do it. Stay in your lane. Do what God has called you to do. Now step 3 to making this year your year. Step 3 is define what's important. When John Lennon was in grade school, his teacher went around the class asking each student, what do you want to be when you grow up? Some of the students replied, a policeman, a fireman, an astronaut, a teacher, a musician. But when I got the John replied, I want to be happy. The teacher said, John, you don't understand the question. And John replied, babe, no, you don't understand life. We gotta keep that in focus. This year I wanted a little purpose-driven legacy, focus, fame-oriented, that we all got the same purpose in life, and that is to bring God glory in everything we do. Our victories, our success, that's the marketing campaign for the kingdom of God. At the greats, the legends, the champions, the people that go to the highest level of success, if you study their life, they're always legacy-focused. Your life is not just about you. Your gifts are tied to this world to make it a better place, as something inside of you that God has planted. Then only you can give. That is your gift to the world. My set needs to shift. It is, why do I want my legacy to be when I die? Why do I want to be remembered for? Get up every day and ask yourself this question over and over and over until you understand and know that. Asks the moment you awaken today. It's the moment to life begins to change. This year needs the theme. What do you want this year to be about? Decide what the theme of your life is going to be. This year, maybe for you, is the years fighting to liberate, the year of embarrassed rest, erase, or maybe us, the year, the crown, discipline, dedication. Whatever it is, this you need to see. When you give it a theme, it helps unify, consolidates your focus. Because broken focus, that's the number one reason for failure. This step taps in the vision, and vision is the genesis of all greatness. Now you've got to write this stuff down. You know what the word says? The word says write the vision and make it plain, so he that really can run with it. Write it down. Write your purpose down. Rain your legacy down. Write your theme down. One mistake people make is they write out New Year's resolutions before they figure out who they really are. Find yourself before you seek the strategy. Who are you? That's the question. See you, I did it. I'm not talking about the identities that the world gave what the enemy tried to place on you. I'm talking about the real identity will lie. These are the type of questions that you've got to ask yourself over and over because these questions will set you on the trajectory for massive success. To fully understand them, self-defining was important. We need to break it down into 5 elements. Number 1, purpose-driven. Number 2, legacy focus. Number 3, outcome-oriented. Number 4, goal-driven. And number 5, action-aligned. Now I want to give you an assignment. With the step when this message is over, I want you to get out a piece of paper and at the top of it write December 31st, 2019. Pretend that this year has already happened. I want you to write down everything that you accomplished this year of 2019. I want you to write the last chapter first. Just like the holes at the beginning of this message, write the last chapter of this year first. Then you pull out that piece of paper every morning when you wake up and you read it. If you align all your actions throughout the day to bring that last chapter about that step 4 is to live to an environment of truth. And this is principle here rests on step number 1. So you can't fully awaken or understand I have revelation of the truth until you've been in the presence of God. That's why you got to get in His presence every single day. Now the word says the truth shall set you free. The quickest way to change your life is they introduce truth into it. See, the enemy cannot hide in an environment of truth. The enemy's just like roaches. When you turn on the light, the roses run. Your life will begin the taste when you reach over, hit that light switch. You heard me saying earlier, truth is the control for greatness. Truth does not discriminate. Lee blesses all to embrace. The that has 2 elements. The truth, there's God's truth and order, which is the natural laws that go in this universe, right? Like gravity, the law of attraction, the love. These things right now Loomis say he put in place, and then there's the truth that he put inside of you, your identity, your truth. Who are you? You can't fully walk in truth until you understand your identity. My wife and I, we just built a new house, so we had to go down to the post office and change our address. Now we've been getting these notices in the mail at our new address saying come to the post office. We have mail there that was sent to the old address. Now when we go down to the post office to pick those packets, the lady at the counter says I need to see you identification before I can give these packages to you. I have to confirm and identify with you all. It's the same with like God has already sent you the promise. I already sent you to bless it, the healing, the prosperity, the abundance. It's already been said, but in order for you to pick these packages of these blesses up, you gotta show the world your identity. Your identity has to match the name on the blessed, but your identity God gave you. You can't have what you are unaware of. I tell people like this, I used to read other people's dreams until the day I fell my own, and because I've discovered my identity, I can now see my dream so clearly that its manifestation is inevitable. The world knows exactly. You say that blessing to not to live in an environment of truth. We have to approach our relationships differently. You see, real success is the full and outright demonstration of authenticity. You can't be living half-truth in relationships and expect to live it real and all fitting in your work. I will give you something right now that will change the whole dynamic of your life if you adopt it from this point forward and fail to make every relationship one of truth first. You raise your own standard. Everything you do, let it be done in true faith. Once you establish your own standard, then demand that of everybody that's around you. Truth is the key element to having amazing, intense connections with people. And that's what life is all about. Connection. If you are tired of lukewarm relationships, you can change that. You can set your relationships on fire if you are willing to be vulnerable, emotionally exposed, willing to walk in truth and be authentic with people. This will change your whole life. Is that you Set this in motion, you tell everyone in your life this, you say, I don't want anything from you except your truth. I will not judge you on what you say to me. The only thing I will judge is the level of truth that you gave me, and once you walk this out, you will begin to establish trust with those that you are involved with, and the relationship dynamics will completely change. The surface level and down to the depths of real-life connection, and from that place, the spark will be generated, and that spark will set you on fire on the inside, and that fire will bleed always in a work that you are doing, and prepare stupid to the greatest heights. Know the main truth is the couture for greatness. See, every problem in life is this the true problem. Some of you looking in the wrong place to fix your work problem. You think it is about work with is actually about your relationships. If you know the same is true there, it don't matter. The truth is the chiropractor undermined this year failed to live to an environment of truth, and everything you do, ask yourself these questions. How much truth am I currently walking in? How much truth is in my marriage, my family, my relationships, my work? Count real. How truthful am I being with God? Time to stop faking it. It's time to stop going through Moses. It's time to be real. Stop living lies. Man, life is too short to live that way. You don't have to answer to the world, you only gotta answer to God. And then truth did he put on the inside of you live. You live the real you displayed to the world. What truth will it looks like? That brings us to step 5, the last step. You gotta align your mind with successes. Wherever the mind goes, the body will follow. And the word says, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's Romans 12 verse 2. It all starts with your thinking. Your mindset is the thermostat that sets the tone for every environment you enter. You gotta walk in the room different. This year came a 2019 of success live in a 2016 mindset. This year I want you to start dreaming big. You got more inside of you. You've been settling for way less than God intended for you to have. Dream bigger, because we've got all things are possible. A person who cannot control their thinking disqualifies themselves from successes. Step builds on the previous. I just wouldn't mind, rooted in truth, can do the impossible. Now thoughts and behaviors consistently align with success will eventually produce the outcomes they give birth to it. Now this year I want you to pour success into your mind, whether that's really listening to audiobooks, watching videos, going to seminars, whatever it is. Surround yourself with greatness and pull that in by the gallon. If you want this year to be different, then you got to commit to making different happen. You gotta face your fears this year. You gotta get comfortable being uncomfortable. Don't run every time something hurts, every time you feel uneasy, every time you get a little uncomfortable. Yo, feathers get ruffled. You can't get the stats running from thanks. Yes, that's right. Start. You can outrun it. The only way to beat it is turn around and face it, conquer it. Some of you've been given up too easy. If you give up on a dream is to commit abortion on the life one good I had. Some of you were right at the door, about to make a breakthrough. When you go in a town, you were right there. You were too old for it, and you gave up. This year you can't let that happen. This is your year. You gotta own this year. Don't let it own you. Some of you need to make this year's theme the year all to come back. I know some of you have made mistakes and you keep beating yourself over it. I know some of you feel like the world has robbed you and done you wrong. I know some of you have been knocked down on that. Man, I did it. Let me give you an example. Nobody goes to a movie and watches from the beginning. Louise, the end of the movie, and all humans is perfect. No struggles in life, no pain, no hers. Nobody but go pay to see a movie like that. The biggest movies are tragedies. That's where the beginning of the movie, we tap into a character, and then that character has some big setback, some big challenge, some big mistake, something pain, something happens that preys on down to nothing, and gentlemen, nothing. They find themselves, and when they find Them something flies up and cock-a-wee. Paint over and over and over for that movie, and that movie is your life right now. What has happened and transpired out but to this point is the beginning of the movie. The good thing is you get to write the ending. There's now write the ending, write that comeback story, that movie of your life that will have people lined up around the movie theater, pay you top dollar. The cops say they are about. If you're tired of your life, write a new scrap. If you don't like the one that you looked right in the movie, change roles. You are the Steven Spielberg, the George Lucas. You are the director of your life. You are the Walt Disney dreaming. Dream the life that you want. Pick up the peer to capture it on Facebook. My Hannah campaign so that movement. Live your life the way you want to live it. Are beautiful, strong, and amazing, and you deserve the best the life has to offer. I know life is sucker punched you. It get you on the scene a few times, put you down on the mat, but here's the truth. You're still standing. Your product color struggle and your best days lie ahead of you. It's the truth. The world is your make this year your year. Own it. Don't let it on you. Go get what you deserve. Draw a line in the sand and say it all stops here today. I won't live this way. I was meant for greater, and I'm gonna achieve it. I'm going to the top. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. I know I am a champion, born and raised, overcome, and I will not be denied what is mine. I will not settle for anything less than my best. I'm a child of the Most High God. Today I start acting like the seers, billions rooks, and I am blessed and unstoppable, and to God be the glory.